Hey fam, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining me in this general all signs tarot reading today. You know the drill. If it's all signs, if it's all vibes, then if it doesn't resonate, that's okay. It's not meant for you. But I feel that if you are drawn to this video, then there is a message here just for you. Somewhere there's bound to be something, right? Either way, the vibe, the main general vibe that I've been getting so much with the different readings I've been doing the past few days is chill. You need to chill. So that's what this channel is for. I got this. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's get into it. Okie dokie. So I like to begin with the archetypes. Everything's already pre-shuffled as per usual. Let's go ahead and cut the deck together. And the first card is, the womb. We've had so many repeaters throughout this channel, and recently we've finally been seeing some cards that don't come up very often, and one of them is the womb. However, we did just recently see this card. What's up with that? This feels like I was saying about the whole chill factor of just returning to that safe space, finding and returning to that safe space. Not in the sense of like when you're depressed and you don't want to get out of bed and stuff like that. Nothing that, like, I used to watch Buffy because it always reminded me that no matter what I was worried about, stressing about or whatever, I was going to be able to handle it and take care of everything and save the world, you know? Nothing, but not like that. It's not like watching true crime, but it does calm me down, right? No. None of that shit. Safe place, safe mode, happiness, joy, comfort, right? It feels like a need to return to that, or to find that kind of space where you don't have to answer a million questions. You don't have to take care of everybody the frig else. You're able to just exist and breathe, right? You're not worried about bills. You're not worried about work. I guess really we're talking about self-care, right? Just being able to take care of yourself without guilt, right? Of needing a moment, needing to breathe, because I feel like you need to breathe. You need to take a moment. You need to be, of the best kind though, if, words, right? Vernacular. Moving on to the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. Cutting and... Do things just not feel like it's ever the right time for the stuff you really want to do? Like there's always other shit going on, people interrupting you, and it's just never the right time. There's noises, there's people, there's everything. When is it the right time to do what you want to do? I feel that. So this spaceship card, don't be afraid to sing. Somewhere along the lines, you lost your voice. You lost your ability to share your voice, to broadcast yourself, right? There's something about your self-confidence that took a hit somewhere along the way. And you need to remember that your voice does matter. You do matter, okay? So find your safe space to be able to rebuild that confidence, that self-esteem that you lost somewhere along the way. Right? Because you have every right to speak your voice, to speak your mind. Your opinions matter. Your thoughts and feelings matter. So if you're interacting with people who just aren't matching that vibe, if they don't seem to understand what the heck I understand right about now, why are you hanging out with them? Why are you around them? Why are you wasting your breath with someone who doesn't give a shit about your words? Because your words have meaning. Your voice matters. So if anybody around you, people you thought have thought are your friends, and they're treating you differently than someone who gives a crap about what you're saying, why are you talking to them? Why do you keep wasting your breath with them? They don't get it. They're apparently not meant to. That's on them. That's their freaking problem. They don't want to respect you. They don't want to respect your time and effort and how hard you've been trying all these years, all this time, whatever it may be. That's on them. That's their problem. Guess they got to live or figure out how to live without you around as their doormat anymore, right? This is very, like, it's very specifically about singing. A lot of stuff, like readings that I've been watching by particulars, singing keeps coming up. So maybe that's going to resonate with somebody else. When I do these general readings, I'm considering myself right here with you, fam. Right? This is more, this whole thing began on here on YouTube. My tarot channel is, I returned to tarot, but I was just, you know, building a muscle, right? And getting used to it. And I began feeling like I was meant to be sharing things. I started off with just a card a day, you know, and built my way back up. And then I just began feeling like I'm meant to share these messages. They're not just for me. And psychology, it's like 101 will say, that's usually how that goes. You're not ever really truly alone. There are others like you who do think like you, who do match your vibe, and you have every right to find them. You have every right to be respected. And if people are showing you the opposite, they're showing you who they are. They're showing you what they're capable of. And that's on them. Okay? Stop worrying about changing others and focus more on yourself, on getting away from people who treat you with complete disrespect, who don't hear you when you speak to them. Your words just don't even stick. They don't matter. I would say going in one ear and out the other, but like if it's not even going in, well, what, right? Okay, so maybe with some tarot, we can get some clarification. Oh my God, my voice, it keeps cutting out. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm not sick. I think it's all mental and just part of my journey and the discombobulation I've been experiencing for like at least the past week, right? It's just been like, what the heck is going on? So, shall we with the tarot? It's YouTube. I try to be silly. I mean, I am silly as far as I'm concerned, but, you know, let's take it back up a few notches. So I like to think of the tarot as its own story, its own, you know, with its own chapters and parts and sections and all that. And the archetype and the oracle cards are like the prelude or the prologue. I mean, I've already cut the deck. So card number 1 is strength. You've already been through so much. You've already learned so much. Maybe the other shoe dropping is you recognizing it's time to move on. It's time, like, instead of realizing, like, I don't want these types of relationships in my life anymore. I don't want this kind of job. I don't want to do this shit anymore. And recognizing you have control over that. Like, pay your bills, take care of business, sure. But you can look for another job. You can do research and figure out where you would rather live. Maybe you'd like to leave the country you're in, whatever, right? Whatever you've been longing for, longing to do. Are you waiting for it to just find you, or are you living your life? Because you should be living. You shouldn't be waiting, right? Even if you need to take a moment, even if you need to take a breather and find that safe space, right? Like, you still should be living your life. So don't lose track of time. I have really bad time blindness. Please don't lose track of time. It won't work in your favor. You know what I mean? Like, I like to refer to myself as a time traveler, but I'm always going forward, right? Yeah. You have so much strength, and this person is wearing white, right? White, in this style of tarot anyway, tends to represent innocence, purity. What exactly are you doing wrong? I think you've been trying so hard and people-pleasing and helping others, you know, showing your value. If they're not going to notice your value, if they can't recognize your value, fuck them. Fuck them. right on out. Like, get out of here. You know what I mean? Why are you wasting time? It's not a lost cause. I hate that phrase, wasting time on a lost cause. It's not a lost cause. It's just not your cause. You know what I mean? That's someone else's life. That's what they're going through, what they need to experience, right? And you've had your own shit going on, and you've built up so much wisdom. So much wisdom. And now it's time to live like it. Now it's time to live your life, not theirs. And you have the strength. And this infinity symbol above their head speaks of how life is just going to keep going, dude. Whether you have time blindness or not, it's just going to keep going. And it's time for you to gather up your wits, gather up your strength, and live. Really, truly live. Get refocused on your priorities, on your passions, on the things that you've longed to do your whole life, right? Like perhaps singing. What's card 2? Chapter 2 is the King of Wands. You see what I mean? The King and Queen of Wands especially have been through some shit. They've gone through the trials by fire and all of that. And they've come out the other side. This king even has a little salamander buddy there to remind you that he is impervious. But he's also, aren't they lions? Yeah, there are lions on his golden throne, right? There's that passion. The wands are not only fire, they're passion, they're courage, right? So from soothing and taming a lion to wearing or sitting on a golden throne that's adorned with lions, right? It's the Queen of Wands that has the kitty. Like a cat familiar for the witch, right? So this king, it's like he's looking back, you know, especially when you like lay out the cards. The way I have them right now, it's almost like he's looking back. It's like, I did that. I survived that. He's evolved and thriving. All right? There's creative juices flowing, and you need to uncage them because it's time to thrive with them. What's card 3? It's the Judgment card, fam. It's not just talking about karma, like the Justice card and stuff. This is almost like the battle's done. Do, 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 boo, ba, do. You know, with that horn, you know, like Final Fantasy when you're done with the battle, that little tune plays, right? And that's what I always hear when in my head when I see this card. It's like the battle's done. It's done. Now it's time to live. All of the real nitty-gritty, meaty lessons that you've needed to learn are officially in the rear view. And now you got that hindsight going for you, right? It's always different in the hindsight. And now we get to see what's next. Card 4. Chapter 4 is the 5 of Swords. I think that right now I like to refer to this as the fuck around and find out card, right? This person in the foreground seems pretty happy with their decisions. Like, you know what? I figured out your deal. No more, no more. And that can make people upset. They're used to you being their doormat. They're used to you taking their shit and piling it right up on your shoulders. Like, I got big, good, strong shoulders, but it's from my shit, okay? It's not from your shit. You carry that, all right? I mean, because there's a difference between help and dictation, but there's also a difference between helping someone and becoming their sustenance. It's time to be your own sustenance, okay? What's going to come up underneath the Strength card? The Chariot card. Hey, fam, this is the Go card. This is the Go card, all right? Coming up underneath Strength. This Chariot They don't seem to have any weapons though, right? They're just kind of vibing with their sphinxes, and their sphinxes are scanning. They're like, all right, okay, let's go, right? They're not worried about it because the plans have been made. Everything's been figured out. He's got this canopy of stars. There's so much alchemic and esoteric symbolage going on with the whole, not costume, not uniform, but you know what I mean? Their armor and such. It's all esoteric. It's all speaking of the mind. This charioteer knows exactly where they're going and exactly what the heck they're doing because they have figured it out. And it's go time. All right? Coming up underneath the King of Wands is the High Priestess. See? You are very intuitive. You've been taking this time getting your head right and figuring out, okay, I know what I want. I know what I enjoy. I know what I like. How the frig am I going to do this? Right? You've been taking this time to get everything, all your ducks in a row and everything lined up, and being in tune with being so in tune with the universe and your soul, having your mind and your heart working in concert together like we've been talking about so much. Like, you're able to shift and change and evolve on a dime. You know how to handle things accordingly. And you're learning how to trust yourself. Again, if never before. Again, if ever before. What? Words, listen. I too am human. But right, like, what are the passions and the things that drive you that are meant for you? You've been taking this time to figure that shit out. That's coming up underneath the Knight of Wands. Underneath Judgment is the Six of Swords. Like, right? Like with the intuition and the charioteer, you know it's time to go. It's like the end of an era going on right about now, right? It's time to go. You're going to collect your wits about you, right? And you're going to move on. But it's the wand that is being used to propel that boat, isn't it? The little canoe. That passion, that drive, that courage. You know who you are. You know what you're doing. You know what matters to you. And you're just going to collect it up and go. Whatever that means for you, whether it's figurative, whether it's ending toxic relationships, or it's really moving away, right? To calmer waters. The worst is behind you. Revel in that. Get comfortable in that knowledge, right? What's coming up underneath the Five of Swords? Damn. It's the world. The freaking world. Oh, fam. Once you get the people out of the way who don't belong there, they've been taking you for granted. They've been taking advantage of you and disrespecting and freaking insulting your intelligence, quite frankly, because that is the swords, the Five of Swords, right? And you know that you don't deserve that. So this rebirth for you is taking you away from all that bullshit. It's getting you out of Dodge, whatever. Another loud car, but this time I think we're hearing some bass. Sounded like some bass. I got some good music going on in there. Right? And the world is the dancer of the tarot. So to me, this is speaking of once you get this figured out for yourself, once you get your head on right and your intuition, you're in sync with your goals and your intuition and what you've always longed to do. And you're living for yourself, not for others. I'm not saying abandon your family. You got kids and stuff like that. I don't mean that at all. But there are things that you were silenced on at some point that you're being reminded belong to you. Parts were sacrificed at some point between this and this, right? Between then and now, there were parts of yourself that you sacrificed that you didn't mean to. Forgive yourself for the things you did in survival mode, okay? That's been a general theme going on lately, hasn't it? For reasons. Okay, what's the epilogue to this story? The 10 of Wands, fam. Oh, it's you are tired. You are so tired and burnt out. But this isn't the time to give up. This is the time to get a fire under your butt again, because you know exactly what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You have your intuition, and look at all these major arcana that have come out to be like, you know. You freaking know. We have the Strength card, Judgment, the Chariot, the High Priestess, and the freaking World. Yeah. Hey, you know what you're doing. It's been a tough road. It's been a long road. But you're on this path for reasons. Your path is always the right path. Don't worry about heading in the right direction or paths or any of that shit. If you're on it, that's the right path. What do we get to learn today, fam? Right? Stop being afraid of challenges, because you can handle them. Whatever happens, you got it. You need to learn how to trust that for yourself again, if ever. Right? I said that already. Hey, you're almost there, fam. 10 is the completion of the cycle. And you've already been given a heads up that this next chapter, this next portion of your life is going to fucking rock. I mean, hello? Hello? Dude, you want me to show you the major arcana again? Because I can. Right? I know you're tired. I know that this has been a long road, but you're getting there. Don't lose sight of that, okay? You're getting there. What are the extra notes for this reading, fam? Let's see. I was probably really loud for the camera mic for me to scrape my nails there. I'm sorry. Boop, ba, doop. Ooh. Having some deja vu, are we? Is it because, because you got that intuition going and stuff and you're rocking it? So my question is it deja vu because you're scared of the same shit happening again? Why would it if you don't want it to? Why would you allow it, fam? Right? Why would you? Why would you allow it to? You know how to handle your business. You know what to do. Or is it because now you're so in tune with yourself, right? My stomach just woke back up, right? That you're seeing things aligning and you're like, whoa, 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 right? Maybe, I don't know, you tell me, because hashtag soon is the other extra note. Aw, fam, look at you. Wow. I don't really like to deal with time frames, but I'd say we got a time frame going on. It's called hashtag soon. And you're at the end. And my camera just died on me. That's interesting. You know what you're doing. You've got this, fam. You've got this. This is the end of the cycle. It's been long and it's been difficult, but you got the toxicity out of the way. The people who didn't appreciate you, who were taking advantage of you, you got away from that shit. Right? You're moving on, whether it's physical or figurative, whatever it may be. Boosh. It's time to move on to new beginnings. One cycle ends and a new one's coming up. And this is a rebirth for you, fam. It's time to thrive. It's time to take all of that passion and courage and strength and creativity and thrive with it, fam. Okay? Oh, thank you so much for joining me in this reading. I'm not sure when the camera cut out before, so hopefully you didn't lose too much of that. And yeah, Until next time, please remember that I love you.